Hello my friends. So in today's session I have channeled the Pleiadians, and the Pleiadians, they have given us not only the what we can expect for the month of October, but also they have stated like the kind of events, that the things, the type of energies that are coming to the Earth planet at this time period will be a bit different. And also in today's session they explain about mainly the three things. Okay, I have written it because I forget sometimes, because while listening to the session I had written down what they were talking about. Okay, so the first thing they talk about is I need to actually do some further research into this, because I just finished the session and I just listened to the session once. So I'm telling you what I remember from one hearing, okay, of the session. In the beginning, they said that the soul swap event, or the soul switch, which the wanderers or the beings from higher density, as directed by the council, we already know from the previous sessions I had made, it will happen till the October 6th timeline. Okay, and furthermore they have stated that on October 20th, I believe on October 20th or around that period, there is like some event which will happen on our planet, which you will hear about in this session. Okay, and also this is very, very important. They said that this session, this this time period is very, very important, and they also explain as a result why it is important for us to be go off grid. Okay, now most people may misunderstand this. What they mean is spiritual off grid. Okay, when you listen to the session you will get it. It's not the kind of off-grid thing where you have to sell everything, but it's a different type of off-grid. You will understand that. And also they talk about, they talk about towards the this you will find towards the end of the session. They talk about, they share a wonderful key, okay, which we can use, okay, or it could be considered as a method, or maybe a type of understanding to activate our Greenway Energy Center, which as per not only the Pleiadians but as per the Galactic Federation in the previous sessions, many of us, we are struggling to rise above from the yellow ray to the green ray, right? So the green ray is the heart center, and they give us a wonderful method how we can activate it. It's fascinating. Okay, so I hope you all will enjoy the session, and after the session I will give you further descriptions of my own understanding of the session. So here is the session, my friends.
We are the Pleiadians, and we are now communicating through this instrument in order to share our thoughts and insights. We are pleased to connect again from our planetary seat in the Pleiadian star system. Before we start this communication, remember the protocols of the previous session shall hold, meaning that you should only accept those thoughts which provide a deep sense of inner resonance with your heart, and leave behind those which do not resonate with your inner self. We as the Pleiadians have an important message for the whole collective of humanity. The message that we are now connected to share today through this instrument is not a so-called joke as known in your language terms, as the message for the people of planet Earth we have to share today concerns a very important event which is occurring in your planet as well in the galaxy. Please remember that as per the previous session, still the time space known as October 6th, the Council had directed many wandering souls to enter into the current Earth reality via the process of free will soul swapping based upon those entities who desire to be of service to the one Creator, and those who are ready not to continue on the current incarnation cycle. Out of the 1.5 million soul entities entering into the current Earth planet from higher densities, approximately 1 million souls have as of today entered into the Earth planet, and the remaining shall continue up until the date of 6th of October as known by your people. The month of October is energetically very charged for your people, not because of any love light composition or the energies coming from outside the galaxy, but because of a type of protection the Council and the Galactic Federation along with us are now working to create around the Earth planet in order to protect it from the coming invasion of negatively polarized, negative thought form, psychologically weaponized energy, or the energies which may be considered as a plasma negative beam weapon which has been directed towards the Earth planet by the so-called negatively polarized entity. And these negatively polarized entities are not those who are resident on the Mars planet currently and are being neutralized at the present, but these are an unknown type of negative entities we have detected in a comet known as Bernstein, as named by your people, which is now heading towards the galaxy of your planetary sphere and is projecting negatively polarized energies towards the planets as known as Saturn as well as the Earth planets. This negative polarized energetic wave will act as a weapon of creating more negative polarity for those entities who use technological devices for a long span of period may feel this inner knowingness and inner tiredness or this negative charge build up within their physical vehicle. As this negative energy works upon the planetary sphere, for biological entities are susceptible to the negative charge, we, upon scanning these negative waves approaching your planetary sphere, we are of the opinion that until the month of October, till the date of 20th of October, these waves of energy shall hit Earth, and we are constantly trying to build a bridge of protection of love light around the Earth planet in order to protect the planetary sphere from such a energetic attack, which is now approaching the planetary sphere at a faster pace. We, as well as the Council and the Galactic Federation, are yet to identify the origination point of this negative energy wave, which is now fast approaching throughout the galaxy and is about to reach the seat of the Galactic Federation in the Saturn Council seat. Furthermore, because of this detection, we are to inform your people that you should plan for a 30-day period of going off-grid as known by your people in order to use less devices and be mentally prepared and be mentally in the positive state, because the negative energies is amplified when entities are using their so-called devices for a long period of time. Hence, we would recommend entities to use the devices for a short period of time space and not for a long period, as it may lead to the buildup of the negative charge within their own physical vehicle, which may feel as physical imbalances in the bodily complex of entities. However, we, along with the Council and the Galactic Federation, are now working to create a love light charged energetic core around the Earth planet, and for this, entities on the Earth planet who desire to help Mother Earth to protect humanity against such love light infringement can use the energies of love light and send love light towards the so-called comet known as Bernstein, as named by your people, and by doing this the negative energy shall be counteracted, leading to a crossing over or a cancelling of the negative energy that is currently coming towards the planet Earth. We would recommend those entities who are desirous of being of service to planet Earth at this time space to consider this fact and to help other people, also by spreading the message that they can also assist in the spreading of love light energies at this time space nexus. The process of spreading love lights is very simple. To simply enter into a meditative state and then send love charged energies or feel the love within your body, and then imagine it expanding and reaching to the outer cores of the galaxy. As many people begin to do this on your planetary sphere, these positive energies will then reach into the so-called comet, and then it will cancel the energies of negative polarity arriving from the comet at this time space. Furthermore, we would like to clarify the meaning of spiritual off-grid, as many people on your planet are now considering. In this regard, let us tell you that the notion of selling all your physical materials and going off-grid is actually a hindrance for your own evolution. Since your own evolution is dependent upon your reaction to the catalyst presented on the incarnation cycle and your reaction based upon the interactions you have with other entities who interact with you on a daily basis. Hence, there is no need to the so-called aspect known as selling all your physical material possessions and then going off-grid. This will be a hindrance for you. For those people who desire to learn faster in this polarity, have to understand the meaning of spiritual off-grid, which is completely different from the meaning of physical off-grid. Spiritual off-grid means to have the ability of turning yourself away from the happenings of the outside world. Even the happenings of the outside world should not be registered in your mind complex as being positive or negative, and just being balanced no matter what happens, letting all the things exist as they may, with the both polarity of positive and negative playing the dance in the illusion complex, and you who is planning to become spiritually off-grid to remain centered without being disbalanced by any of the activities happening on the outside. Furthermore, in this regard, we shall share with you a key that will assist those entities who desire to awaken the so-called green ray energy center, which is lodged within your physical vehicles and is now approaching activation. But the entities on your planetary sphere are dwindling from the point of activation to deactivation of the green ray energy center. Hence, sometimes they feel love and energy emanating from within, while at other times they do not feel the love light for other beings as well. This is an example of energies dwindling from the positive to the negative, or the consciousness entering into the higher sub-octaves and then entering backwards. Furthermore, many entities on your planetary sphere need to balance themselves, and the balancing is that of the so-called mind complex and the use of the mind complex. Consider this: your mind complex, your imagination and your thought forms, or the inner voice which you can use to create any kind of situation, is a tool created for the purpose of energy work or manipulating energy, and this tool is only amplified or is efficient during the time known as sleep states or during this time before entering sleep states. Hence, the use of this tool during the waking daytime is of no use. Many people do not yet realize that they are wasting their valuable time and wasting the activation of the energy centers by engaging too much in thought forms during the daytime, which is of no use. The proper use of the thought forms and the mind complex imagination sequences are only during the state wherein your subconscious mind, as known by your people, is activated, especially during the time when you are sleeping, etc., wherein the energy manipulation or the work that you can do with your energy centers will be amplified and the results will be drastically faster. Therefore, the entities on your planetary sphere must, using their free will, try to separate the aspect, which is the aspect of understanding the difference between the free will and the difference between the so-called choice. Also, they must understand that they must, during the waking daytime, separate themselves from the so-called mind complex as much as possible, because the mind complex is a tool used for energy work to create situations and environments in the mind complex in order to manipulate realities. However, during the daytime, over-engagement of this aspect will prevent the activation of the green ray energy center. The process is simple: to realize the fact that whenever you begin to use the mind complex during the daytime, just realize that it is of no use to use it during the daytime, because without the so-called engagement of the yellow ray or the egoic mind, it will begin to activate your green ray energy center and you will begin to feel the love emanating from your own self. Therefore, beloved, this is the simple process which people on your planetary sphere can use at this time space to activate the green ray energy center. Furthermore, we leave you now. We are the Pleiadians. Until we connect again. Bye.
So my friends, I hope you watched the session, and I also watched the session. I had taken down some notes, so let me refer, okay, to the notes, because this session was kind of like the thing is, whenever you listen to the session once, you get a certain amount of information, but then if you just listen again, the understanding becomes like deeper, okay, you get more level of understanding. So yeah, so I have written down over here, basics of what I learned from the session. They said, on October 6th, it is the last date for the wanderers to incarnate via the process of free will soul swapping. Okay, now many entities without their free will, they said it will not happen because some entities, were tired of maybe their incarnation and they were tired of living, so they were being soul swapped. And many of you were saying that soul swap is a bad thing. In essence, it's not a bad thing. If just imagine, if a soul is not ready to continue, okay, if the soul is about to give up, then would it be better to allow another person to come in and change the person's life as well as have further evolution without wasting time? It's actually like it may be considered a good thing, and also because the wanderers, they are from higher density, so they will be able to share positive messages to help lighten the vibration of the earth planet. Now here they are talking about the positive soul switch, okay, not the negative soul switch. And in the previous session they had already described us how we can save from the negative, okay, because the soul switch can happen on the positive as well as negative based on your vibration. The other thing they said, okay, now this was really fascinating, okay, they mentioned that on October 20th, they have planned to create a blanket of love light energy, I believe, protection for the earth planet, because some negative energy is coming from this comet. I believe it's a comet or a yeah, the comet's name is Bernardelli Bernstein. Okay, they said Bernardelli Bernstein Now I need to search this, actually I don't know. And they said, you know, like this this thing is being used by the negative entities to I believe they don't know the identity of which negative entities they are, okay, like, but a negative energy is coming heading towards the Earth planet, and specifically it is also heading towards Saturn, where the council is located of the Galactic Federation. And yeah, so they want to, you know, say that the energies, you know, and I you know, I believe, you know, this is actually happening. You know, some of us are, you know, being affected by the energies from somewhere, okay. Like I had received messages from many of my you know, friends from you know, different places, and they said, you know, like they had been feeling really this like this type of, you know, like energy, you know, when they are waking up, you know, they feel tired and stuff, you know, they are not able to you know, continue doing their normal tasks. You know, I believe, you know, this energy is coming from that area, okay. So this is what they said. And in this time period, you know, they said if we excessively use our phones or our computers or our devices, you know, it may amplify the negative you know, energies. And I don't know how that works, but they said that, you know, and also, you know, they said, you know, at this time period in the month of October, and they said, you know, it would be really wonderful if we are able to just, you know, go off grid, meaning they don't want us to, it doesn't mean that we have to sell everything we have, okay. Like normally people, when they hear about off-grid thing, you know, they say, you know, they have to sell everything and then they go to a remote area. But this is not what they said. You know, they said you don't need to sell anything, you just need to be spiritually off-grid, which means, you know, to be unaffected by what is happening outside. And that is the meaning of spiritual off-grid. This is what they were saying in the session, as far as I understood, okay. To be spiritually in a state which meaning spiritually off-grid, okay. And if you try to use your technology a little less compared to what you use normally, you know, then maybe the effect will be less. So this is what they said, okay. And this was really like, this is really out there, okay. So always use discernment. I also use discernment, you know, because, and also I use protection, you know, before channeling. So it's this stuff is coming from a positive source, I believe. And I know this is from a positive source because the message is positive, and I use protection. You know, there is no way the negative can, you know, hijack me or stuff like that, okay. So don't need to worry about that. The other thing which is very important toward the end of the session, they said key. They said about a key which we can use to, you know, activate our green ray energy center. Now many of you know, most of us, we are in the third density vibration, which is primarily dominated by the egoic mind, our thoughts, you know, our thinking mind and stuff like that. So what they said is that, you know, in essence we need to transcend that to enter into the fourth density. Now how can we do this, right? The big question is, how can we do this? So the thing is, you know, we can do this by just realizing that, you know, our thoughts and our imagination, it is a creative tool, okay. They said it is a tool which is used to manipulate energy. So we can use our thought forms and our imagination to, in essence, manipulate energy and choose timelines, okay. And they are effective only during the sleep state, they said, or before entering sleep. If we do this, if we you know, create some kind of situation, like our mind normally does that, right? We are doing something and it creates some situation like, you know, what if this thing goes wrong or something like that, right? In essence, in a similar manner, you know, to change realities, you know, we need to, before entering sleep, we need to create the type of situation we would want, in essence. I believe this is what they said. And they are wonderful tools for that aspect. But, you know, during the daytime, you know, using our imagination or using our, you know, internal thought dialogue or internal voice is not going to be effective. Okay, they are mainly used for the purpose of choosing timelines and energy work, I believe they said, when we are in a state of drowsy state or when we are about to enter into sleep. Okay, that is the time when they are used. They are tools. But we have become confused, you know, we use them all the time. Like, you know, many people, they use them all the time, like 24/7, okay. Maybe not 24/7. In deep sleep, you know, they are not active. But most of the waking time, you know, people spend their time, you know, like imagining stuff, you know, talking to themselves. It is useless, okay, they said. It's of no use. And so they are blocking their own entry into the green ray. So I believe, you know, the best thing to do at this time is to realize the difference, okay, that just realize the difference that you are awake. So now you don't need to use that, okay? Even if you use it, it's of no use. So why use your, you know, like internal dialogue, or why use the imagination when you are waking, okay? In the waking state, you know, just enjoy, just be. So this was really fascinating, you know, and I really like this stuff, you know. So I hope this thing helps you also. And by the way, thank you all so much for supporting me on Patreon as well, where I am uploading almost like, you know, on a daily basis. I upload not only sessions, but I'm also uploading the transcript of the session. So you will find it on my Patreon, because Patreon is uncensored. Look, okay, YouTube is becoming very highly censored, and the one video I had about Bill Gates is also taken down by YouTube. So it's very sad to see that, and I have uploaded it on Patreon. So, you know, it's very sad to see this happening, okay? Like YouTube is becoming like very you know, what do you say, like very type of, you know, dictatorship, okay? Like it's sad, you know. We can only share, you know, like stuff that is like really neutral, okay? We cannot like share anything regarding other person. And you know, there was nothing wrong in the Bill Gates video, you know. I believe it was just a lesson that, you know, that we could be swapped by a negative entity as well. But they removed the video stating that it was harassing someone. I don't know. I don't think it was harassing anyone. But anyways, you know, I am uploading on Patreon because it's more safe, you know, it's more, you know, uncensored. So you will find all of my censored sessions on Patreon. And also, I want to say a big thank you to all of you who sent emails regarding your past incarnation cycles. And I've added you to my list. So as I get time, I will send you out, you know, and then I will, if I get free time, I will definitely help you out to finding out about your own self, your own past incarnation as well. So this is all the session for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. Until we meet again, thank you so much.